Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, I'm not at the cabin. I'm actually in North Carolina. Even though I miss him like crazy and I'm eager to get back, it feels really good to be with family and just kind of have a little bit of downtime. But I still wanted to pop in, make a little cameo, give you a little fit of the day. And I get a lot of questions. I am in North Carolina, but it really is about the same as it is in Texas in terms of temperature. So don't come at me like I'm somewhere cold wearing, comfortable attire. But this is the fit of the day. And yeah, I know what Steve is working on this weekend, and I know that there's going to be a lot of good information that he's putting out in the video. So y'all make sure that you watch all the way through. There might be a little surprise cameo of me at the end too. Who knows? But yeah, y'all sit back, enjoy the video. Fingers crossed. I think the plan for next week is that we're going to be putting up our metal R panel. So our version of siding. And we're just really excited about it. It's a big milestone for us. It's another big purchase that's out of the way. So we would love for you guys to come and hang with us next weekend and see that. So yeah, we can't wait, and we're glad you guys are here to hang with us.
Hey, welcome back to our channel. I'm out here by myself this weekend. Britt's in North Carolina with her dad for the week. So this week we're going to fix the biodigester. If you watched our last video, you saw that after a few flushes it would start to slow flush. Just because there's not enough room between the toilet and the tank for it to kind of flush in and then push the gas out, push the fertilizer out. There's not enough room for all that to happen at the speed that the toilet flushes. So we're going back to the original plan of putting a barrel between the toilet and the biogas digester to give it kind of an interstitial space to flush into and then trickle down into the digester. So we're going to get that done along with lots of electrical. Let's get into it. So the first thing we got to do is mark the elevation of the holes that need to go in the barrel. That long sweep 90 comes right out of the top of the barrel as low as it can. So that elevation is committed. We can always raise the riser to the toilet. We got a little room there. Just about the center of the barrel is where we want to be. Alright, so we got to get 3-inch pipe in and back out of this barrel. We got in underneath and marked the elevation of the openings in and out. And now we're going to use a hole saw to cut the hole, and then we're going to use these bulkhead fittings I got off Amazon to make a penetration that we can glue 3-inch pipe into and then seal it. That's a big thick rubber seal right there. By the way, we're using the cow poop barrel from the cow poop smoothie you saw a couple videos ago. And since this lid is threaded, we're going to mark exactly where I tightened it to so that we don't end up with our opening off to the side or off elevation wise. Because this bulkhead adapter is threaded, the inlet is threaded, the threads on the fitting itself are left-handed or reverse threads, so that when you tighten this up, you're not loosening this. Make sure it's reasonably well centered so it'll seal. I reused the cow poop barrel because I thought, why waste a good clean barrel? These are food grade barrels on something that's going to go in the septic system. But as I'm standing over it and it's starting to warm up this morning, the odor that's wafting out of the barrel makes me think it might have been better served to just throw this one away and grab one of the other ones I had. So as I'm cleaning this out, I realized the other thing I didn't think about was the fact that I have to reach way down inside this barrel, almost climb inside the barrel, to tighten up this fitting. And it is the cow poop barrel after all. But, I mean, if you've watched our previous videos, the poop smoothie video, you know, it's not the first time I've had an up close and personal experience with cow poop. Doesn't mean I'm looking forward to it though. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to get this bulkhead fitting together. I was thinking the top of these barrels was a little bit larger. I might be able to force myself in there, but one of the worst fates I can imagine is being out in the middle of nowhere where nobody can hear me scream, literally, stuck inside a cow poop barrel with no way to get to my phone and call 911. And if I could call 911, what do I tell them? I've wedged myself in a barrel of cow poop. I mean, I would if I had to, but I'd really rather not. So we're going to come up with a different plan. I don't need it to seal, I just need it to stick enough to allow me to thread it in from the other side. Okay, I think we're on plan F now. I'm gonna win, my I think we're getting somewhere. I'm real frustrated with this thing, so at this point we're going to call it good, put a thick bead of caulking on it, and send it. I was going to hold off on installing the permanent electrical panel until the spray foam was done, but I talked to the spray foam guy and he said do whatever I need to do and he'll bag it off before he sprays. So for safety's sake and for the ability to have power all over the house and get all the lights on without creating a massive fire hazard, we're going to go ahead and install the panel and tie all this stuff into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark the depth of the box. We expect to put 3/4 inch thick wall covering in here, so we're going to have this box stick out 3/4 of an inch from the face of the studs so that the cover plate will be flush with the wall covering. I'll tell you another thing we're going to do. Having been homeschooled all my life and really isolated, I did most things completely alone when I was a kid. So I just learned kind of as a prerequisite to everything to figure out how to do it by myself without a helper. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to mount this electrical box pretty easily without anybody to hold it in place for me. This methodology, of course, works for tons of different stuff. You can use it mounting or hanging paneling, sheetrock. I may very well end up using it when we put the R panel on the outside of the house next weekend. Works for a ton of stuff, and you'll understand why. There he goes with them screws again. you know, it carries all the weight, so I can scoot it around and do whatever I need to do without having to worry about holding on to it. Takes a lot of the stress out of hanging heavy stuff. All right, here we go. So I talked a little bit last week about the plumbing and the vent system, but I didn't really go into detail about why the vent system is there. And as I'm continuing that vent and I'm about to take it through the roof, I'll explain a little bit more about how it works and why it's required. So when you flush a fixture, any fixture that has a trap, the little doodad that keeps sewer gases from coming back into your building, in order to keep that trap from being sucked dry by inertia and hydraulics, you have to have a vent, which introduces air into the pipe to chase that slug of water out the pipe and down to wherever it's going, sewer, septic, whatever you got. In our case, it's a biogas digester. If you didn't have that vent and all you had was from the fixture through a P-trap and straight down the line to wherever your end point is, it would be exactly like when you put your finger over a straw and pull it out of a cup and the straw stays full. So the only way to get around that and to make it drain properly and also keep it from pulling all the water out of the P-trap and allowing sewer gas back into your building is you put a vent, which is immediately downstream in most cases of where the P-trap enters the line, so that when that slug of water starts to go down the pipe, that vent introduces air and kills the finger on the straw effect. In certain cases, like lavatories and urinals, you do what's called a wet vent, which I'll explain at some point, probably when we put in the kitchen sink and plumb that in the wall. But in most cases, you do what's called a flat vent, which is what we're doing here. Well, that closes out another weekend out here. Didn't get near as much done because I was by myself. As you know, Britt was in North Carolina with her dad. She'll be back next Thursday. I didn't film a whole lot this weekend, due in large part to the fact that I was just doing kind of more of the same, finishing up some stuff. Now next weekend we are going to be installing the R panel, and there's going to be a lot to see there. That'll be a good one, and it'll be a major transformation of the appearance of the cabin. So definitely tune in for that one.
All right, guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you guys got something from it. I know that I did. I got to watch it before Steve released it to y'all. So I think there's some really good stuff in there. And even if I'm not prancing around in outfits that are sure to get both positive and negative comments on the internet, it's still a good video. Also, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you got your notifications turned on. Make sure that you are checking the channel bio as well as the links in the description box. That's going to have the links to my website that has all my social medias, including my spicy channel, including our Patreon. Our Patreon is where I think a lot of people would have the most fun. It's only $9.99 a month, one tier. That's what it's going to stay. And we usually post 1 to 2 times a day. And, you know, it's just a really laid back version of us hanging out and doing things in the nude, because that is our comfort level. So if that's something that you guys think will interest you, go on and check that out. Like I said, the links are in the description box as well as in our channel bio. Hey guys, welcome back to the house. Psych. That's dumb. That's dumb. You're dumb. Also, no, not also. I'll save that for the end. No. Our metal R panel. No, yeah.